Barcelona are preparing for a crazy summer transfer window. With Robert Lewandowski set to leave the club, Hansi Flick and Joan Laporta are already working on a brand new era at Camp Nou, and the names linked with Barça are absolutely massive. According to the latest reports, Barcelona are dreaming of signing 3 Argentine superstars this summer: Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez, and Cristian Romero. But that's not all. Julian Alvarez has reportedly become Barça's top priority to replace Lewandowski, even though Atletico Madrid are demanding between €120 million and €150 million. Lautaro Martinez is once again on Barcelona's radar as the club searches for a world-class striker. And in defense, Cristian Romero could become the leader of Flick's new project amid growing tension at Tottenham. Meanwhile, major drama is also unfolding inside the Barça squad. Marc Casado is now seriously reconsidering his future after an honest conversation with Hansi Flick about his role next season. The La Masia midfielder could be forced to decide between staying loyal to Barcelona or leaving for more playing time. And there's more. Barcelona are also preparing a new agreement for young defender Patricio Pacifico despite his ACL injury, showing huge confidence in the Uruguayan talent's future at the club. In today's video we'll cover Barcelona's dream Argentine transfer targets, the latest on Julian Alvarez, Lautaro and Romero, Marc Casado's uncertain future after talks with Flick, Patricio Pacifico's injury update and contract situation, and all the latest Barça transfer drama. Make sure to like, subscribe and stay tuned because this summer could completely change the future of FC Barcelona. Barcelona identify 3 Argentine stars as dream summer signings for Hansi Flick. With Robert Lewandowski preparing to bring an end to his journey at Barcelona, the club has already started planning for a new era under Hansi Flick. The Catalan Giants are expected to be one of the busiest clubs in the upcoming transfer window, and several big names are now appearing on their shortlist. According to recent reports from ESPN, Barcelona are closely following 3 Argentine internationals who are seen as players capable of taking the team to another level. The names attracting the most attention are Julian Alvarez, Cristian Romero and Lautaro Martinez. Attack is the priority. Barcelona's biggest concern revolves around the striker position, as Lewandowski's departure leaves a massive gap in the attack. In that regard, the club believe Julian Alvarez could be the perfect fit for Flick's style of football. In fact, as per the outlet, Barcelona have already made informal contact with people close to the player, although completing any deal will be extremely difficult. Atletico Madrid consider Alvarez one of the pillars of their long-term project and would demand a fee between €120 million and €150 million before even thinking about negotiations. Barcelona are continuing to explore big options in the transfer market, and Lautaro Martinez has once again become one of the club's main attacking targets. The Inter Milan captain has been admired by Barça for several years, and there is now a feeling inside the club that the Argentine forward could eventually be open to a new challenge away from Serie A. Even though Inter do not want to lose their captain, Barcelona believe the situation could change later in the summer if the player starts pushing for a move. The club sees Lautaro as a striker with leadership, experience and the quality needed to lead Hansi Flick's new attacking project after Robert Lewandowski's departure. At the same time, Barcelona are also looking to strengthen defensively. Cristian Romero has become one of the most discussed names internally after interest in Alessandro Bastoni began to fade. Tottenham's disappointing season and the uncertainty around the club's future are giving Barcelona hope that a deal could become possible. Romero's relationship with Spurs is reportedly not perfect either, which could open the door for negotiations in the coming months. Meanwhile, Marc Casado is beginning to seriously think about his future at Barcelona. The young midfielder has always dreamed of succeeding at the club, but competition in midfield is becoming tougher every season. With stars like Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Gavi and Marc Bernal ahead of him, finding regular playing time is becoming increasingly difficult. After an honest conversation with Hansi Flick about his role next season, Casado now understands that breaking into the starting lineup will not be easy. While he still loves the club and wants to succeed there, he may soon have to decide whether staying patient is the right move for his career or if leaving temporarily could help his development. Simply put, Casado now finds himself facing an uncomfortable question. Stay patient at Barcelona or leave temporarily in search of the minutes his development now demands. Importantly, Barcelona are not trying to force him out. The club still value the 22-year-old and see him as an important squad option, but there is also an understanding that the player's frustration over limited opportunities is becoming increasingly difficult to ignore. Conversation with Flick. As per Sport, Recent conversations between Hansi Flick and Casado appear to have clarified the midfielder's current standing within the squad. The German coach spoke openly with the player about the intense competition for places and explained exactly where things stand heading into next season. At the moment, several midfielders are considered ahead of him in the rotation, including Pedri, Frenkie de Jong, Gavi and Marc Bernal. Rather than making false promises, Flick chose transparency, something Casado appreciated despite the difficult message. As such, the conversation did not close the door on his Barcelona future, but it did trigger serious reflection. So what now? 4 months, Casado had remained fully committed to staying at the club regardless of the circumstances. That mentality has not disappeared, as he still feels deeply connected to Barcelona. However, the situation might have reached its natural course. As per the outlet, a crucial meeting with Deco and the players' representatives is expected once the league campaign officially ends. Those discussions could potentially define what happens with the La Masia midfielder in the summer. Meanwhile, interest from other clubs is already growing, as several teams are monitoring his situation. Still, the player does not want to rush anything. Barcelona begin discussions to extend agreement for January arrival, currently recovering from ACL injury. Barcelona are set to retain January arrival Patricio Pacifico despite the defender currently being in recovery mode. Pacifico suffered a serious injury shortly after arriving, although the Uruguayan defender continues to enjoy strong support at Barcelona. In fact, according to Sport, the club's confidence in him appears so high that discussions are already advancing regarding a longer stay and a future permanent transfer. The situation could have easily gone in the opposite direction after the injury interrupted his momentum earlier this year. Instead, Barcelona have chosen to double down on their belief in the young centre-back. Preparing new agreement for Pacifico. Barcelona's original agreement with Defensor Sporting included a condition that would automatically trigger a permanent transfer once Pacifico reached 10 official appearances. However, the defender's injury arrived at the worst possible moment. Before being sidelined, the youngster had already featured 7 times, leaving him only 3 matches away from activating the clause that would make his move permanent. Rather than rushing the process after his setback, Barcelona are now exploring a different solution designed to protect both the player and the club. The current idea being discussed involves extending his loan spell until the summer of 2027. Once he eventually completes the remaining appearances required in the agreement, the transfer would then become definitive. For that matter, negotiations between Barcelona and Defensor Sporting have remained active in recent weeks as both sides continue working towards a final arrangement. Barcelona are happy with the Uruguayan. At Barcelona, there is apparently complete confidence in Pacifico's long-term potential. The sporting department is said to view him as one of the standout additions from the previous winter market, not only because of his performances but also because of how quickly he adapted to the environment. Fortunately, the injury did not change that perception. In fact, the response after surgery has been extremely positive, with Barcelona very satisfied with both the procedure and the player's recovery progress. That optimism is now pushing the club towards accelerating the new agreement. Barcelona's summer is already looking absolutely huge. From chasing Julian Alvarez, Lautaro Martinez and Cristian Romero to dealing with Marc Casado's future and planning long-term projects under Hansi Flick, the club is entering one of its most important transfer windows in years. The big question now is, which Argentine star would be the best signing for Barcelona? Should Marc Casado stay and fight for his place or leave on loan? And can Hansi Flick build a new winning era after Lewandowski's departure? Drop your opinions in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss any breaking Barcelona news, transfer updates and football drama from around Europe.